You see Pierre, clothing line, entrepreneur. I'm anything I get my hands on. For real.
Sound about right. Mr. JE Media Group, Entertainment Concierge, most notably, visibly, I run a new parish, but entertainment in the Bay and beyond.
So y'all got the questions, right? So we just gonna start it. You feel me? Start from the bottom up. All right. So
you already know.
So the question is, how do we add structure into to the Bay as far as like fashion and entertainment? Because I see like fashion and entertainment as like one. To me, it seems one. Like you can kind of similarly like you walk it the same, and like when fashion goes forward, entertainment is also going forward. Like if somebody like say for example like the hottest brand, probably the hottest artist is wearing it normally. So I'm like, from what I see, so I'm honestly like, how do we add that to the structure to the Bay? Because like I don't feel like it's in direction, but we all just kind of like winging it and figure out what worked for us, and we just keep doing what worked for us until it don't work. You feel me? Like we just gonna try. It ain't no there ain't no store like, all right, if you got a clothing line, you pop it in the Bay, you can't go to just one store and be like, this is where all the brands at, and go and buy, or go and see like, all right, this is where it's at. You feel me? Versus like any other places, it's places like that. Like you can go to LA and be like, all the brands from LA is in one place. All the brands in New York is in one place. You feel me? All the brands in Atlanta is in one place. So we can go and, you know what I'm saying, see what's hot in the streets. You feel me? I feel like we got the potential to do that, but like then again, like we so disconnected to where like it just, we can't come together.
It's like 60 questions. All those things and everything you said is totally possible. What you spoke to in other markets and other regions, they had to build that. So someone's got to build it. What helps and hurts us at the same time, from an urban standpoint, is we're extremely diverse. The Bay Area is a huge ass melting pot. In other markets, they mix, but you have this strong sense of community of all the communities, and then most importantly, in the Black communities, you have very strong, centralized, connected Black communities in those other markets. So just like we said, in Texas and Houston, you have that structure. In Atlanta, you have that structure. With certain cities in New York, the Brooklyns, the Harlems, and things like that. You have that connection and that foundation of Black people, and we'll stay speaking specifically to Black people, working together, building together, uplifting one another. Here in this market, we're kind of like all over the place, and there's no solidified Black area.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, here in the Bay.
That's what we're talking about.
And that's and especially in rise of just different conversations. There's Chinatown, there's Koreatown, there's Japantown, there's Latin, all that. But it's like there's no place that we just gather, congregate, support, uplift, and build. I think so. Until we press the button and press forward to trying to do a centralized space, then you can't create those other centralized spaces of this is where music grows, this is where fashion grows, this is where press and entertainment grows. Like there's no hubs, so it just has to be created. But we here in the Bay, I think we get sidetracked from doing that and kind of want to, and I don't want to say force, but it seems like we have to be diverse, and that's what you have to push for. Everything's got to be accepting of everyone. Mm-hmm. And I think you can do that, but we got to uplift each other and be able more to trust and build with one another. And I think that's another thing in the Black community and the Bay community is there's a lot of distrust amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
So then it's like we'll get something going, and then when a person get an opportunity to kind of come up, they'll cut somebody out, and then that'll sour that person that got cut out on trying to build with anybody, and things like that. So then it's like you keep everything close to the vest. So everybody's over in that corner working on what they working on versus like, man, let's share and things like that. That's not the model that I specifically chose, and what in my entertainment pursuits and just business pursuits is I want to just, even if it's not my play, if I can put two people together, like let's just make it happen. So like I saw and I see that one of the most important things to happen or to do is just make it happen. Whether I actually have something to do with it or I'm on the front of it, on the side of it, it's just important sometimes just to make stuff happen. So until we get more people getting in that same mind frame and mindset of just let's put the play together, whether it really personally benefits me, but professionally it'll benefit me if continuously good things happen. So it doesn't look, it's like, that question is very hard to tackle, but I think it just starts with us being able to work with each other and build, and more that a community can be seen doing that. And I think we're better than we were in years past. But the more we do that, and the more that whenever we see each other, it's just instant love, and it's like, man, and just having conversations online, offline. Hey, I saw this, and sharing and building is that we'll get there. We just got to do more of that.
Piggyback off what he said, as far as I've been doing clothes, it wasn't really a store. I got like, I want my clothes in there. You feel me? Especially that cater to us. Manning's?
Yeah.
Like
and not even just that, like,
and I was gonna say another thing to that. And then others what we were talking about previously is the ownership of it too. Is that we create a lot of stuff, but we don't own the building and the spaces to do that. So we gotta allow, and there's no slight to Manning's, but Manning not us.
He don't care. He ain't worried about
you know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that.
He not worried about it.
I started off.
But then we can damn near strategize and say, well, okay, where we spend the most money at? Let's boycott this shit and then make them do certain shit to our, you feel me? Like to our guidelines. Like, let us put our shit.
Yeah,
that's
nobody.
But again, that's that coming together for common goals, purposes.
You gonna get
we
there.
can put it out there and try.
You always
like, look, nobody spend no dollars here until these niggas do this.
Yeah.
But like,
and we don't own it, Chad.
Yeah, no, I get that, but like, I just, it just,
reason the lights on it.
but to me, it just feels like a place like Manny's should have a brand from the Bay in there, because everybody
They're not this though, bro.
I know, I get it. Not
But also, well, I mean, you can worry about this, but also you also got to make them think the bottom line, because Manny care about the bottom line. So he carrying, and they carry the stuff that they know is gonna sell, and when people talking about selling, because unfortunately, that's what we get to. Is the popular things is what everybody wants. So once it's on, then everybody want to be a part of it. Very few people want to be a part of it on the way up. So that you gotta build a relationship. It would be dope for him to build relationships with up and coming folks, to build and have his place be the hub of the growth of something. That would be dope, but you gotta make financial sense. So I don't know if anyone ever went to him and said, man, let me get a table. How much for a table? Let me get a shelf. How much for a shelf?
When I first started, before I even put anything out in 2018, before I put anything out, I went straight there and I asked him. I said, "What's it gonna take me to get my stuff in here?" I told him, "I'm like, I'm brand new. I'm just starting, but I'll pay you to get my stuff in. You can put it on assignment." No, he said, his exact words to me was, "We got somebody to do the research, to find what's hot and what people want, and then we're gonna do it, right?"
But it has to translate. Like the same conversation happened to me. It's got to make sense, and that's
it. Gotta add to accumulate some money, bro.
Same thing with me in the club and the party stuff. People, I want to bring such and such. I want to bring such and such. How much to rent the spot? Okay. Exactly. Is it gonna bring me money through the door? Is it gonna not give me any problems? Is it a good look for the venue? These are all things that I have to consider and business have to consider. And until you check all those boxes, you're not going to consider it. So you got to find a way to check those boxes. Because I can say, man, hey, everybody can just say, I'm the hottest promoter out here. And I can't just say, all right, cool, you can have Friday, and it could be crickets, or it could be so crazy that 3 people get shot. And was it worth it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a business has to think about all those things, and I'm not gonna make those moves until I've seen you do other stuff. I can even see you fail with other people, but I can say, okay, is they willing to listen? Okay, see what you did on that spot, and over there you shouldn't have done this. Hey, play like you know, and even for me, if it can't fit in my room, I might be like, I see what you're doing. Maybe try it over here. And for me doing that play to give, you know, let you rent and go and put you in touch with somebody else is me also setting up a play for me later. Because it's like, if you grow,
you're gonna come back.
You come back. Yeah, you gonna come back. Because you gonna go back. You gonna be like, hey, bro, he hooked me up this first. I got to
show love.
Yeah, but also if you make it work, then it's like boom. Then it's like, okay, now all I see is, okay, if you do this, now you can come in this room. And that's just business in general. So you gotta check. It's gotta make sense. It's gotta be can't be more trouble than what it's worth. But again, someone has to be open to do that.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part. But again, manage. There's like it's like 3 urban clothing brands out here like that, like 3. So it's very limited. So you gotta imagine how many people asking, talking. You gotta show them. But then more importantly, you know, it's the old movie Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So maybe also someone got to go out and be like, man, let's get together. Let me build the space, and I'm gonna invite everybody in and help everybody do the business. But it's very difficult on your end because
So going back to what Manny said. So towards the end of the year, 2018, I had dropped some. I dropped some jerseys, and I sold out. I went crazy that summer. I had dropped like 150. I sold out all 150, and then. I ran it back. I did 2 more cuts towards the end of the summer. And then Fab bought one, took a picture and went all live or whatever, right? And then man, he called my phone, brother, come through, we make something happen. And I'm like, at this point, bro, I don't even want to fuck with you, bro, because I came in on some genuine shit in the beginning when I ain't had nobody. You feel me? And you wasn't even, you down there ran me up like I was just, like I just wasn't nobody.
Anything you ran you up, bro, it just
didn't make sense.
So
I mean, like, and that's where we said on that, like, you missed the play.
Yeah, because
like you was letting the emotion of it.
You was building your brand, bro. So
and
when
that's
you
what
seen Fat, you could have capitalized on hard.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, to do business, bro, you ain't even gotta fuck with him. Like you ain't even gotta have no relationship with him.
Nah, you really don't.
It's business, bro.
You just make it's like
there's a lot of people in business that don't
just make him
mess with
treat
you
like
so you
could in there and ice cream.
You
they buy that shit wholesale, they get a contract. Just make that nigga.
Yeah, bro. You could have used it as a platform, like all right.
Because if that was you and it was a young nigga coming up to you like. When you all gonna get my shit in your clothing line, you ain't gonna just say, all right, come on, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be like, well, I ain't seen
let me ask you something. If a fresh brand, you don't know, bro, young 18-year-old came out, it's like, bro, I want to collab with Comewetseason. You don't know nothing about him. You don't know. He you gotta look at it. It's low key.
So I done had people come to me and ask to collab, and I'm like, bro, I was telling them. Let me see how you roll your shit out first. How you do your shit. And that's what I said, right? Let me see how you do your shit, right?
You gotta see both perspectives. You ain't sold one item and you come to me like, bro, let's collect. Like, God,
you know, you ain't even came out with a seed.
It gotta make sense for me.
You want me to put the work in for you. That's basically
right.
And when you went to talk to Manny, in his head, he probably thinking like, this dude want me to do the work for him. You feel me? This is more beneficial to him than it is to me. You feel me? And then you look at the other perspective, you kind of understand a little bit more.
But then, like, I feel like it do be brands out here that do make the rules. So, like, why motherfuckers don't want to just come up and make me personally, bro, you just gotta show, like,
you know,
you're doing numbers.
Because also, the other part about it is we don't know his past experience. Because he might have got burnt X amount of times trying to give an opportunity.
Exactly.
You know,
so it's like if you come to him and be proving yourself, not even just like prove yourself, just show like, bro, I'm out the numbers like this. Just don't show your hand too much, but just show him that you gonna bring some type of traffic. Feel me? Okay. Instead of just saying like, oh man, I'm up and coming, I'm very, you know, that shit ain't always.
That's every industry. Yeah,
that shit ain't gonna always.
I'm the hottest rapper. I'm the best dancer, and like I'm the best cook. Like until you show, and people are talking about it, and they're. You know, they turn into your mouthpiece. That's the best way to be shown.
So you feel like until like I guess other people talk for you, and then that's when you
absolutely.
Shit out. Okay.
It's that, and it's just your approach too. Like you can't just say like, oh man, I want an up and coming clothing brand. Like nah, bro. Like just approach. Like if you approach him differently, he may like be like, okay, maybe we can do like a test run or a trial or some shit like that. Then
It's
just about approach.
But you gotta get to that.
Yeah.
You gotta get that confidence level up.
You gotta have leverage up.
You gotta have
Presentation,
leverage. You gotta have confidence too. Right?
If you would have came with them like, hey, look, this what I got, presentation, boom, 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 laid it out for them, probably would have fucked with you. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
It's just the way you.
Maybe. I don't think so.
Well, you gotta build up. But you already gotta know. You gotta know the industry that went in and his clientele. So he used to hearing the game and the game being.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta think. You know how many people
saying that to him.
You know how many people, how many brands that came in there and said, "Hey, bro, I'm trying."
You gotta have some
Whereas
substance.
if a motherfucker came in and said, "Man, I got this, you know what I'm saying, this PowerPoint presentation for you, boom, boom, boom," you know what I'm saying? Like I projected on the wall for you. You know what I'm saying? Here's a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a pie chart.
He gonna be like, you know what, bro?
You don't have time to look at it. Here it is. Right.
Don't look at it when you got it.
The flash drives say Comewetseason on it, but like it's a presentation. So like no matter how you feel, and again too often culturally we take on and how we feel about something dictates our decision on something. And it's like you gotta take your feelings and your emotions out of shit. And it's like as long as you weren't disrespected, all right, there's room to build business. Like, and there's gotta be mutual respect. Like I don't have to like it's hella people I don't necessarily like. There's hella artists that I don't like. There's hella managers of artists that I don't like. But when we come together, it makes sense. So we don't have to be friends. I'm gonna do what I'm contractually obligated to do as long as you do what you contractually obligated to do. I make money, my night went smooth, the concert, the arena was full. That's all that matters.
That's why they say you separate your feelings from business and shit.
Yeah.
You got to.
And the sooner you do that,
We gotta
the better.
separate everything from business.
Yeah, I mean, really, like every little aspect of life, you really gonna have to separate that from business, just because it's like it's just so much that could go on. Like even like you said, with family or anything, they could be holding you back from doing certain shit.
Have a double life.
Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like me personally, I make my brother like half the time. My brother pays for his clothes. Feel me? That's my blood brother. It's like, I'm not just handy. That's not helping. That's not helping.
Bro.
Like I mean, I might throw you something because I feel like it. You feel me? But off the rip, you asking me for something. Now my younger siblings, it's a whole nother story. I be throwing, but my older brother, like you feel me? You gotta pay. I mean, that's just how it is. Like you feel me? That's just how it is, bro. So you gotta. I mean, every little aspect, you for sure gotta separate it from business.
Where we at, bro, it's hard for motherfuckers to separate just because it's the Bay Area.
Yeah. I mean, everybody is so like this with everybody, so
But that's why,
you feel me? But
because we don't know how to support each other, so they think support is free. So it's like, for example, me and Drew be tight as fuck. And we came over each other all the shit. He dropped GPS, nigga. I don't got nothing. Oh, that nigga Drew will give me that for free. Nah, nigga, support that nigga. Because if you support him and everybody else see that, okay, even his best friend paying.
yeah, even he paying.
Exactly.
And that's the narrative again. But that's the narrative that you gotta build.
Exactly.
Is that you support, and support is financial. You know what I'm saying? So then, and the more people see that and expect that, and there's no, I'm gonna slide. But again, we always.
But that's our culture. That's the culture, though.
Because again, one would be like, it's $20 at the door. Oh, come on, boom. I remember, like, boom, boom. All right. And then, but then be like,
Yeah, that's shit.
oh, there's a 20.
That shit
Like,
blowing.
bro, you just went back and forth with me for 20 minutes.
Over $20.
But at one time, if you'd have let him in for free, it's over with. You can't ever charge him again.
Exactly.
You can't ever charge him again.
Because you're gonna keep having that same conversation.
I had a situation. I learned from it. It was an artist. I ain't gonna put his name out there, but he was popping and gave him clothes for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, he rocking it. He low key watered my brand down. That's why
I know that's what you're talking about.
he wearing it. And like, oh, that's clean. What? Where you get that at? oh, you know, I got it for free. I mean, he didn't have to.
But yeah, and that's what that level, that foundation of respect was like, I appreciate you gave me that, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna shout you out. What's your ad? Let me make sure
that's
I spell
what
it right.
But then
you
know, I got it for free.
They just
watered my brand down.
Yeah.
So now everybody's looking at
when they come to me and like, oh, how much is it?
So
Oh, what's the name? I'm like, oh, bro. So it was a learning experience, though.
See, I flip shit like that though, cause I tell motherfuckers, but yeah, he been supporting my shit for 4 years though, since
you gonna have but then that's extra shit that you dealing with that you wouldn't have had to deal with.
You gotta make a nigga respect your brand though.
That's a fact.
But at the same time, like he said, but it started with Brett, because Brett didn't respect it. Like it's a whole different way. Like
but
I got people that's getting shit for free. They ain't gotta do it like that.
He an artist out there. It's a domino effect though, because he wearing it at a show, and they're like, "Oh, that's clean." He telling the next rapper, "Oh yeah, bro."
Now everybody just wants to
everybody gonna be like,
which is fine if you got the budget to do that, and you put that in your business model.
That's part of your marketing.
But you never know though. He might not have had the budget we gave it to him.
For sure, but
Yeah,
So
no,
he's like, okay,
that's the separation where it's like there's two routes to go. Where it's like it's someone really respects your brand, and he gonna do and she gonna do what she can do to make sure people get correct. People know what it is, where they got it from, and whatever business y'all did, and however y'all did the business is between y'all two. Like it shouldn't have come up.
I would have to handle a different situation with artists.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, I'm damn near too. I am telling artists to buy the shit.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
it ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Like you need a shirt. Look out better too.
Yeah, I don't think you gotta talk about that.
but now it's like
Exactly.
when you tell an artist now, some artists they respect it and then they promote your shit harder.
No,
Like I told a rapper before my shit like, hey, rapper, you gotta pay for this. And since he paid for it, when he put it on Instagram, he tagged me. You feel me? He put it.
I mean, you have to think about it.
Well, now it's value.
He is putting money into it. You value the brand a lot more.
I had to give up.
Money gonna get him out of there.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get the $100 worth out of this thing. You feel me? Rather than like the way he looking at it. When Brett was looking at it like, I got this for free. This whatever. Like I do this all because it's.
He might not wear it one time and not wear it again.
Yeah.
Even if you wear it multiple, it's just the way you presented me, bro. Like, it's just,
but it's like now in the state that we in, bro, as far as social media go, the free shit versus the shit that you pay for, they gonna let it be known.
Because if I said something in pack right now, she probably ain't gonna. You never know.
I mean, it depends if she posted or something.
She don't post it, but if she wearing it,
you have to fit your brand also.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like when
If it's some old out of the pocket
I
shit.
don't do shit with people that don't. That I can't see them representing my brand every day. You feel me? Like if I don't see you as an ambassador or somebody that represents what my brand represents, then I wouldn't even give it to you to go put my shit out there because you're not the right representation.
It look forced.
You feel me? Yeah. Like
now when someone look forced, you can tell.
Yeah, it'd be like, bro don't really be dressing like this. Like, why the fuck? That must be his partner or something. That's whatever. Like, he ain't really put that shit on. Like, you feel me? How people be on Twitter and shit talking about it. You know what I mean? I feel that for sure.
Well, then that leads us to the next question. So how do we all get on the same page? Because like, I ain't gonna lie,
You saw the circle this time.
like you so spread out and this shit, bro. To me, it's just like, bro, like I said in the beginning, it should be a place we could all our brands in here. We should literally go to one place and be like, you know what? They all got their shit. They all in the bay, all doing their thing. This is where you go to get it. You feel me? You shouldn't have to be able to like, I gotta tap in with Jelani. I gotta tap in with Pierre. I gotta tap in with Donnie. You
talking about
But that's a store. We just talking about it's about owning shit though. You gotta own the actual land, the actual building. That's the first step. It's steps.
Like a good example of someone that kind of created something out of nowhere. It was Trap Art. They made a room for all these artists, all these merch, all this stuff to be in one place. So if you and I said, and I think I've even told you this before, you just go further with that, and have that conversation with 10 brands and say, man, I'm gonna get this room, whatever. Now what Trap Art did, they had everybody that was supposed to be on board, marketing, promoting, whatever, to validate them being in and helping spread the word. So it's like, if you can try that method to make sure everybody sell tickets or everybody promote, but someone's got to take the step and take the burden and the financial burden of doing it, finding the like-minded individuals that are down to support, where it's like you start the conversation with 10 brands and then the event happened and nobody, 4 of them just never promoted the thing. Well, it's like, okay, then the 4 people I don't need to do business with, but the other 6 went hard. Hey, let's talk about coming to the table again and moving forward from there and building. But someone's got to take the step, whether it's the space to actually house it from a day-to-day basis, or just really the first step of let's get a series of events based around that and go.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in this day and age, bro, we don't really need a store. Like, that my online, we got no overhead, you know what I'm saying? Paid a little, I don't have no overhead, so online. To get a store right now, to be honest, I'm cool online.
Yeah.
You gotta think, if you open up a store, that means you gotta pay. We know business is up and down. You gonna pay $2,000-$3,000 here or nothing, right? So you gonna have to pay the $3,000 for the rent, and so still meet your quarter though. So I mean, it is what it is. I feel like just starting doing stuff like this, networking, with different brands help. Sharing his brand, different type of brands, getting to know his brand. I feel like that builds sales too. I done seen a few customers that buy his stuff, buy your stuff, that buy my stuff, but learned about me from you. So you feel me? It's all about just really networking.
Because you don't know what opportunity comes. Like, so is the answer a store tomorrow? No, but could this conversation lead to a store in 5, 7, 10 years from now?
Definitely. Traffic.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to build it. It's got to show. Again, like you said, for all the bills and expenses and overhead, you got to be able to justify and say, man, if I don't sell anything, can I have this space for 6 months? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't do that. All right, let me get to that point.
Be guaranteed. That's when we start looking at the locations. That's why motherfuckers be on Melrose, because every day people are walking around shopping. But you get something out here, bro, it's gonna be in a spot that isn't.
You gotta
there's already foot traffic.
You gotta think about it too.
You gotta know motherfuckers is coming to your shop to shop every fucking day.
You gotta think
Or
about
at
it.
least buy your shop.
Melrose.
Yeah, that's a lot.
On Melrose, they damn near already done built their name. Everything that's on Melrose, I feel like they already got a certain clientele.
They at least reach half their quarter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm gonna keep it 100 because I got a partner from out here. You feel me? Who moved out there and opened up a shoe store. You feel me? He not from LA or nothing, but it's like the way he basically put it to me is like, bro, it's Melrose is like a mall. You really for real because people are coming to Melrose. Whenever you go to LA, you're gonna go to Melrose and go shopping a little bit. You feel me? So he knows it's foot traffic no matter what. You looking for shoes, you probably gonna stop at every shoe store that's on Melrose.
You looking for a specific person.
That's what, but my point is it's foot traffic all the way around. Now you could do what you need to do to grab the attention of people that's just on that street. We don't have that out here. You feel me? Motherfuckers not just walking around and it's put it real. You probably not gonna be in an actual mall out here. You feel me? And we don't have a block full of just independent business owners and shit like that, like Melrose and shit. But I mean, it's different. But then at the same time,
elevated,
bro. Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time,
we had the whole street.
And that's something. That's a build.
That's something.
Who was the first step to that?
Yeah, we are.
Fab to do that. So now, and I mean, having a conversation when he probably would be supportive of something like that, where you build up the block, and that's where, in the grand scheme of things, you got to build it.
Yeah,
it's and this reason why those spaces are vacant now because at some point they were a storefront and business fell apart, and that's one of the things I'm looking for to come out of this pandemic is because it's going to shape. It's going to be a buyer's market versus a seller's market because you got to think a year of not getting your normal rent, a year of not having a tenant at all. You're going to offer deals and leases that you never
ever
done. And the pain of that is really not even going to be felt just yet. Like by next year, again, some people are still going to be so flipped upside down on this business that you're going to have your opportunity to get your foot in the door in a lot of different things, especially real estate. But again, that's where it takes. If someone built that, because again, what Fab do, as soon as you get over there, built it up, now you got to He got a joint across the street.
Across the
He
street.
still held on to the spot where Dope Era was at before, and now my sister's over there. We gonna turn that into, and that I like. So that's something I applaud Fat and what he's just the entrepreneurial spirit that he has, and he's I gotta do this. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna do this clothes. I'm gonna do my events. Like you gotta have that. That gives him the room and the revenue that now I got my store on Broadway in downtown Oakland. Now I'm gonna have another space across the street for whatever we're gonna do.
That made it easier for Burner to put that cookies right there.
Bam.
And more people over here.
Yeah.
And so
Now
now
it's traffic.
It all
Yeah, it's on traffic. Right. It's our traffic
No,
on
yeah,
Broadway.
That's what Benny Hibachi came up there too. So now it's like that. It's
Now you got the
dope man. He gonna get some.
And I mean, and like you said, though, it's a lot more storefronts right there.
Yeah.
It's for the taking for real. But
Yeah. Hello Strangers benefit from all that.
Yeah,
So,
too,
all
like,
that.
to answer your question, like people have to really be honest of what they're doing it for, because a lot of people just doing shit for hustle.
Yeah.
It ain't a long run vision for this shit.
Yeah.
Some niggas not really trying to be a clothing designer for a living. It's just like I'm
That's
gonna
what they
slap
doing for
something
the
on a
moment.
shirt and
Yeah.
make a couple dollars. You feel me? So we have to weed out the people that actually really want it. It's not a lot of people that's gonna come and take the time to do this.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put their money
Clothing
up.
brand.
That's all that. I mean,
Trust me.
that's what
We're not
every
about to
single
go,
business
though.
there is, and that's where it sounds good. It looks easy, it looks fun. Oh, I want to be having this attention. But again, it comes back to me with the music and entertainment and parties. Everybody want to be a promoter and think it's easy to promote.
Yeah,
You take a couple L's and motherfuckers, I'm like, it's countless motherfuckers that used to pay me to promote. People that I used to be in line to go to their shit don't even exist anymore. Like they're not even in this market anymore. So the same thing here. Like the folks that are really about it are gonna be here. I'm 15 plus years in this shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see that with just clothing though, like, bro, you feel me?
Yeah.
When I first started, bro, like, I seen, bro, it's a new clone every day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, this shit like a rap.
It's a new clone every day. But every day.
This shit like the rest. Yeah.
I'm 3 years in, bro, and it's motherfuckers that started before me, who started with me, who started after me, and they is no longer existing.
Yeah.
And they just,
And that's what I'm saying. That's where you got to build that community of people that are here for the same reason. And you ain't got to worry about what everybody else is doing, everybody talking about it. This is the community of support, of sharing information. Let's build together. That's going to reverberate into the customer, and the customer seeing that. They're like, oh, man. Like I said, Pierre was saying, it was like, I got folks that buy my stuff, that buy your stuff. Like, we got to wear clothes. You know, you got to do events. So you got to have that network of folks that you really fuck with, people that you really can do business with, and people that you can learn from. And the more, whether the wider or tighter that circle is, it has to exist. And then y'all heads coming together and opportunities and conversations that you guys are not in the same room with, brought to each other to be like, we can build. Like, hey, my cousin said this, this is coming up, and sharing it. And it come back to sharing for it. And it may not be a play for me. You know what I'm saying? It might be a play for you, but as long as you exist, it helps me exist. And hopefully, if I gave you a play, you give me a play like later.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The reason why I asked that question though is because, so, I mean, y'all familiar with the markets, how I be saying all the time. The Bay's always in top 5 in most popular markets in the country, which means that it's money flowing through and through. It just doesn't make sense to me how we just not on the same page to where we came. Like, it's so many, we all said, like, bro, I'm gonna make money by myself. I ain't doing it with him, bro. I ain't doing this. Because 9 times out of 10, we make money together, we can make more. But we come together, like the places that we like Atlanta, everybody's like Atlanta doing this together, bro. Atlanta popping because to us it looked like they are doing it together. So now they got the hub.
Street politics.
Yeah, I mean,
It is a lot of street politics, but I feel like
It is like I got family that do certain shit and I can't sell to certain people just because. You feel me?
I mean, that's how it is.
Certain shit like that, and think about it. If all of us in here, all of our family, if everybody family in here get into it, who the fuck else we gonna sell to? We can't sell to nobody.
That's what
have the city talking, have the city get into it.
And that's
people have to separate that shit.
We're so, and again, that whole melting pot idea is like, as a number, our population is so tiny. So we have to be diverse. We gotta be in the
I'm
melting pot.
32 this year, so my whole life I've been trying to get jugs from everybody. So now that I see it differently, it's like, okay, we got to retrain our way of thinking. You feel me? We don't need no discounts for nothing. We don't need no jugs for nothing. Like, starting from kids, like, no, you pay for what you want.
Yep.
You got to teach that shit from the beginning, though.
And that's what we don't have. We don't, like I said, coming from the South and back east, you're surrounded by black and my uncle got this business, my aunt got this business, mama had this business. You got trained up, you just saw that, so you just had to find your way of doing it. Whereas in the Bay, and I feel like California in general is like we constantly reinvent the wheel or having to kind of start over. We don't ever get a good start. Like we always gotta create our own shit. And then we don't necessarily have nothing to pass on. So like I encourage y'all to be that, with your children and everything. Because I know Pete got his learning and be like you got to train that up so that you got to speed it up.
I want to touch off what he said though. You feel me? He said he was saying like you can't sell to certain people, right? We can't focus on friends and family. You got a brand, bro. You got to market towards people. You feel me? I sell to strangers majority of the time. That's not just friends and family.
Well, no, me personally, I've sold to people that where shit got deep, like you feel me. And I shouldn't have even been meeting it, motherfucker. But I done it. You feel me? I'm a designer. It is what it is. But at the same time, it's certain people out there that don't have that type of mentality or heart or brain to be like, I'm gonna stand on my own too. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm selling my clothes. You feel me? It's not a lot of people that out here like that. So that's why I said, you feel me? You gotta have people around you. Like I got friends that be in shit and they be telling me like, bro, you rap, do a song with that nigga. I don't like you're a rapper. You don't have nothing to do with it. You feel me? You don't have nothing to do with it.
I don't know.
And consistently, we don't see the bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't want to, because I've been in a situation to where it was like, oh, he got that brand on. That's the section. Ooh, yeah. But I don't want my brand to be limited towards that.
You don't even want to
nothing
that.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not up to you.
It's really not up to us. It's like
when you ain't around.
They gonna associate like for example, bro, like you feel me? Me and you might be enemies. You feel me? Somebody might see you on my brand and then be like, oh,
you automatically a sucker.
He automatically a sucker. You ain't said nothing.
Automatically.
You ain't get nothing. You ain't get nothing. Nobody. It'll be like already.
And that's the thing out here. That's just street politics is just intertwined with everything. It don't matter what it is, but you just gotta hold fashion.
And that's our issue is that our street politics be overriding the real politics, the real business. Like we funking over shit we don't own, and we only getting a piece. Whereas like if you don't own that block, you don't even own that hustle. Like you only like
niggas funking. Don't know why they funking.
For real.
Not for real, bro.
Funking for blocks and shit like that.
No, I'm just saying silly shit. Like silly shit.
It's really just touch trauma.
Yeah,
but once you hold your.
But again, and that's why I was saying is that if we're focused on building up and you have that I've been around business my whole life. I've been educated in X, Y, Z. Like you don't have time to be
exactly.
Like for me, like growing up, like
hit your head.
One of the things that helped me avoid all this shit is like I didn't have time for bullshit. Like it was school, it was sports, it was clubs. Like
that's it.
That was it. Like when I'm done with that, I'm asleep. And I think we have too much, and the youth and just folks in general have too much time for nonsense versus a passion, an interest, a skill. Like you gotta fill your time up with that. Like I ain't got time to be arguing with you because I'm over here working. Like nigga, I'm designing. I can't get in an argument with anybody if I'm designing. I can't get in an argument if I gotta be at my booth. You know what I'm saying? Like
I gotta set up.
Yeah, I gotta set up. Like
I'm not trying to hear you.
Like I'm not out all night because I gotta get up early in the morning. Like when we get more of those things and indulge in or get more into the process of something that's gonna better us, we'll get out of that nonsense and the street politics because we ain't got time to be in the streets like that.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie with the street shit too though. Like you just gotta hold yourself and know that you a brand.
Yeah.
Like once you know, like I ain't gonna lie, that's why for me. Like once I knew that I was a brand. I ain't let nothing stop me from selling from what I want to sell. Like I was born in the politics. You feel me? It's like you born. It's like when you born in this shit, it's hard to maneuver. But
you can do it.
Exactly. But once you know that you a brand, and once I started selling to like outside of my city, it was over. Yeah, it was over at there. It's like, bro, like
I don't have more people tell me that they respect me for doing that shit.
Exactly. Like they respect it more than you. Like
well, niggas don't understand, bro, is that. Especially because in the Bay Area it's so different than other places, is we got a whole different side of the Bay. You feel me? That people not think about. When you in Atlanta, you can intertwine the music and the street shit and all that stuff, the businesses, all that stuff in the same. Out here, bro, you got people who don't know what the hell you talking about when you start talking about some hood shit whatsoever. Like they don't know anything about that. You got people, cause you gotta think about it. When to the Bay Area, if you ask other people what the Bay Area is, they're gonna start bringing up the tech companies, you feel me, our sports teams and stuff like that. They're not thinking of any of the bullshit that we deal with on a daily basis. That's a whole different section of shit. In that section, I would say, is where you made it past all the little bullshit that we deal with. And your focus shouldn't be on these motherfuckers that's on the block and shit. Let's be real. The money in the Bay Area ain't with us. It's other places. Yeah. So why am I targeting these specific people when these other people gonna have more money or more resources for me to use? That's just like with the party shit I told you. I never even got into that doorway until I met with my partner. You feel me? And Middle Eastern or whatever, got in with his people. Boom, boom. Now I'm talking to The Rock and this, that, and the other. This is stuff I wouldn't even, if I was really on that mindset of, you feel me, hood shit, I could throw a block party, I could throw some shit in a house or whatever. I want to make some money, some actual money. You go talk to other people that's on the other side of America. That's what they call it.
And you got to be okay
talk
with
to them.
that.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. Because that's where the money at. And then everybody else follow. And then we got the hood niggas coming up to the club and everybody else will follow. And then you start realizing, okay, there's a lot more other stuff that we could be doing. You wonder why our party scene is the way it is because everybody worried about this street shit rather than the clubs and this, that, and the other. This is why we don't have revenue. But I mean, that goes beyond all type of shit. Like, it's like when fucking Lil Wayne used to come out here and get robbed. Like, you feel me? We always have been on that type of tip. Yeah. You feel me? Rather than other time. So now you got artists that don't want to come out here and say like that.
Like I said, but we always top. No, but like I said, we always top 5 and markets mean that we have money flowing throughout our area. So it's like we have all this money flowing through our area and we can't capitalize on none of it.
But how do they generate that though?
I mean, so a market basically it's a media market. So basically,
I said, how do they generate?
It kind of be like word of mouth, and then it also be.
No, I'm saying all right,
it be actual numbers too.
It's top 5, right? And you saying it's money flowing through, but just being around, I know all the money ain't legal money. So it's like, how do they? It's just based on money spent.
So they're not worth that. That's not even factored in the street money in that. This is money period business in tech. Like you got we're the top in tech in the San Francisco Bay Area. Like
we have every tech.
We got Twitter, we got Facebook, all that. Like everyone you want to see has to come here for some reason, meeting, experience, and then people just like the culture. I mean, like the culture of the Bay. The look, the weather, like people enjoy it. Like bro, like Dave Chappelle just like was hiding out here.
Yeah, he was in Frisco.
And motherfucker, he got a house out here, and he would fucking just ride his fucking skateboard and be on BART.
I used to go to school at the art academy. I used to see him all the time.
And so it's they're out here. They just people and then they're talking to me.
Bro, when I started going to FITM, because I never really been to the city like that for like to where my school's at. My school is literally right on Powell Street, so that's right next to Westfield, bro. And I take BART over there. So I'm walking up, I'm going to school. You know, I mean, if I done seen just going to school, I ran into Jack Boy, literally all getting on BART.
Yeah.
I'm talking, bro, what you doing? Oh shit, bro, I'm going to Empire down the street from my school. How I not know that? You feel me? How I not know Empire was right here?
And the thing about it is, just nationally, we create the culture, but very rarely do we own a significant portion of the business side of it. And again, that's the dynamic that's got to change nationally, globally, is that we're the creative directors and then gets bought up, and then that creative director gets bought out and it takes a whole new life.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like you going back to, like, as a clothing brand, like, I just feel like it should be a way for us to capitalize on something like that. Like, we got all this money in this one place. And
it's a way, we just gotta listen.
Yeah, you gotta create it. You gotta stumble, fall, and build it. And network it. And build it.
It's baby steps, bro. You don't start with, this my whole thing with it, and this is like something my dad always taught me is, before you get on the same page, y'all gotta all be in the same book. everybody not in the same book around this motherfucker.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Before you can really get on the same page, it's like, bro, it's levels to it. You gotta get in that same book, then we're gonna get in the same chapter. We can get on the same page. We can get on the same line. But it's levels to that, and I feel like we gotta start with the baby steps, shit like this, like people coming and talking and exchanging information and resources, all this type of stuff. Once you get to that point, because it's beyond the clothes, bro. And that's what the bigger picture is beyond the clothes. The music come in with this shit. You got people that make music videos and they wearing shit from all the way over there. You feel me? When they could be doing this. You feel me? We got fashion designers here. You got people to put a whole outfit together for you. You feel me? You might want some new jeans. I know some people that can make.
I know some stylists out there.
I know some shit. So it's like everything is really intertwined. Because even with the sports people, you feel me? We got people in the Bay Area. We known for point guards in the NBA, like literally. So it's just like we got people. It's just everybody got to understand that everything is connected. And once we start having some actual unity, even outside of just clothes, just all the way around with all different type of stuff, that's when, you feel me, people will start, getting on the same page. You feel me? We got to get in that same book for
That's why I say our upbringing is fucking that up.
And that's the cycle we got to get out of for the younger generation.
And that's the thing we got to get out of. And again, at no point in history have we had